Hey guys, so what you're about to hear is my Nintendo Switch reveal impressions that I actually recorded a couple days after it was revealed. I just never got around to putting it into video format, and I was gonna go back and re-record it with new information, but listening to it again, besides some like minor stuff that I would change, my thoughts on it remain the same. The only thing I can really emphasize is that I just think it's really annoying that they haven't confirmed they're unwilling to confirm any games at this point, and that they're still like there's still some details on it that I'm really concerned about, and that we're gonna get a conference for it in January, where we're going to get price, release date, and further hardware specs and more features probably. So that's good. But yeah, you're going to hear some relative day inconsistencies. Like if you thought that I recorded this today, which I didn't. I recorded this like a week ago or whenever the Switch was revealed. So, so that being said, please enjoy. I've heard a request for this from quite a few people. I was originally just gonna wait until the January conference to do a video about it, but what the hell? You guys want it? Here it is. So hope you guys to have a listen and enjoy. Hey guys, Razorblade Mango here, and I just wanted to give some thoughts on the reveal for Nintendo's latest console, which is the Nintendo Switch, originally named Nintendo NX. And if I'm going to be quite honest, I would have preferred they had left it as Nintendo NX. To me, that sounds like a cooler title, but I guess Switch is fine. It's better than Wii, which Wii just sounds lame. So I gotta say, I was very surprisingly impressed by what I saw yesterday. And I think the internet, or people overall, were very surprised and pleased by what they saw with Switch. Now, I have made no secret about my dislike for Nintendo's recent business practices and behavior. In fact, I've made multiple videos where I've basically just said fuck Nintendo, and the usual shame on you, and I still stand by that to some degree. I still stand by that they made boneheaded business decisions these last few years, that the Wii U was a failure, and that their YouTube monetization program is a load of shit. But on the topic of just this console, it seems they are on the right track, which is a big surprise, because I think none of us really knew what to expect with the Nintendo NX, or the Switch. And a lot of predictions were going around over the better part of a year, that like multiple different things. We've had people 3D print supposedly leaked builds of this new console. We've had rumors that it was going to be this handheld mobile hybrid where you get to use your phone on it and stuff like that. And yesterday, seemingly out of the blue, or 2 days ago, seemingly out of the blue, they announced that they were going to release the first ever footage of what this console was going to be. The first like concrete information yesterday morning. And right at 7 a.m. they did. They dropped the trailer for the Nintendo Switch. And right now, I'm looking at it, it's got like 10.7 million views, which is nice. Really nice. And I was impressed, as I've said before, because to me, and discussing it with friends who are very, happy with Nintendo, and those who are very skeptical about Nintendo, like myself, and still have concerns about this console, which I'll get to later, is that the reception was overall very positive. Like I said, surprise, relief almost for a lot of people, because they were hoping this wouldn't be another Wii U. So for me personally, I actually am very into getting this console when it comes out. This might actually be the first console I buy at launch, possibly. I want it. I want it for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which looks amazing. There is no other word for it. It just looks amazing. And that new footage they showed a couple days ago, oh my god, does it just, looks so good. Looks so beautiful. So I will most likely buy if I can get my hands on one, preferably a bundle with Breath of the Wild, with maybe a custom looking Switch console, which could be really cool. So I think the thing that I love the most about this console, besides it supporting Breath of the Wild, which is the big reason I'm going to get it, the other big reason I really like what I'm seeing from this console is that it has a big emphasis on local multiplayer, a big emphasis on like interpersonal, intersocial connection between people. And I'm not just talking about starting a chat party on the PS4 and inviting a bunch of friends to play like Rocket League online or GTA online. I'm talking about you go over to your friend's house and you sit down on their couch and you play games with them and you have a good time like that. And what's sad about these last few console generations is that companies have been phasing out local multiplayer, which makes me very sad, and it's a dying trend that I would love to see come roaring back. And even franchises that are known for local multiplayer, like Halo, they phased that out for Halo 5, and people were pissed. And then for the latest Doom, as much as I love Doom, as much as I will probably go on to be one of my top games of the year, one of my biggest regrets with it is that it still doesn't have local multiplayer, which I think would have been great if it had some kind of 4-player split screen multiplayer on it, which with AI bots, and that's a shame, but it is what it is. Now with the Switch, not only are they very adamant, not only is Nintendo very adamant about keeping local multiplayer alive, they are really into making it convenient, which I understand if you don't want to go all the way over to your friend's house to play this thing. And I like that this gimmick of taking this console anywhere with you actually makes sense. It's a gimmick that makes sense, and it doesn't feel like Nintendo is trying to innovate just for the sake of innovation, which is what killed the Wii U. And I like that on this portable version of the Switch, you can take it over to, you and your friend can meet up in the park, and one of your friends doesn't even have to bring his own Switch. You can bring your own and then have the two little mini consoles there, controllers, and play it like that and just hang out in the park and have like it repeatedly says in that fucking song in the trailer, have a good time, which is the emphasis that I really, really appreciate that Nintendo has on this console. It's built mainly around the core concept of convenient fun, and I love that. And after the boring as fuck, underwhelming announcements of the Pro and possibly the Xbox Scorpio, which those are probably just going to be consoles that talk all about graphics and putting 4K and the nicest pixels and all that shit on the latest games and all that, which, is not a bad thing. It can be the component of a great game, but you can have a game be pretty, but if it ain't fun, if you aren't able to enjoy it with friends, then some of the value on it's not going to be there. Like, I would rather play Super Smash Brothers, the new one for the Wii U, that really amazing 8-player mode that they have, than I would most AAA budget games that come out for the PS4 and Xbox One that boast high-end graphics and cinematic storytelling. The little that I've played of Super Smash on the Wii U with the 8-player mode, it was a blast. I had so much fun. I played Mario Kart with people. I've had a lot of fun. Mario Party, lots of fun. So if they bring these games to the NX, that would be great. I would love that. I would love to have friends over to play games on this thing. I would love to go meet over at a friend's house and bring it over there and hook it up to their TV and have them experience it. This is a console that seems to be designed not for children, but for everybody. It's seemingly Nintendo finally getting over this idea of appealing to just like younger audiences. And that can be fine. That's fine if you want to have games that appeal to younger audiences, but having your entire like console around that is not going to sell well. It's not going to be a good thing. You need the third-party support. You need the adult gamers that grew up with Nintendo that want something new and cool. And the cool thing about this commercial is that there wasn't even a kid in sight. It was like a bunch of adults enjoying this thing and having fun and playing, like Splatoon and the new Mario game, which looks pretty cool, and Breath of the Wild, which looks amazing, and the new new Skyrim on there, which is odd, but okay. I'll talk more about that in a bit. But yeah, it's even when I've criticized Nintendo, I don't know if I've ever said this in one of my videos, but the one thing that I am grateful to them for, that I find truly admirable, is that they are very, 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 very against this idea of phasing out local multiplayer. They want people to be in a singular room and play their games and enjoy games that way. Not over the internet, not over a headset, interpersonal connectivity. That's great. That to me is the beating heart of gaming. And Nintendo with this console seems to be on the right track. Now, another thing that I really like about this is that it seems easy. It's like a transformer almost, where it has like all these different forms where you get to. It's like a home console. We don't know what the specs are. We don't know how powerful these games are going to be, but we'll see. It's something you can just take on the go, like just hang out in the park and play these things. You get to go on a plane and play it, and it doesn't seem like that big of a hassle. You go and even like a new area, you can take that and have the little mini controllers pop out and play like 4 players on there, which what they showed off. It's like a console that's just, it's all these things in one, and yet none of it feels like it's conflicting with each other. It's a very clear message of, hey, this is what this thing does. Here's why you might want this thing. Please buy our thing. It's not like the Wii U, where the Wii U was so confusing, and even I, who's somebody who's obsessive about keeping up with the latest gaming news, I was confused by what I saw with the Wii U. I was just like, is this gamepad like a new peripheral for the Wii? Or I didn't even know this was a new console until like a day later after they announced the thing. It was that troubling of a marketing strategy for them. And yeah, it backfired. But this seems to be good. This seems to be on the right track so far. Now, some concerns I have with it. There's a lot of questions they haven't answered yet regarding pricing, specific release date, bundles, how long is the battery life going to be, what battery type is it using, are the cartridges going to be for both the little tablet that they have and the console itself? Are we actually going to get Blu-ray on this point, and then it switches the game over to the cartridge? We don't know. We don't know everything about this console, and that does leave room for concern. Another thing is that they made this announcement yesterday that, we're going to have all this third-party support. We're going to have Bethesda. We're going to have EA. We're going to have Ubisoft. We're going to have Capcom, Activision, all these guys making games for our console. And need I remind you that they said the exact same thing for the Wii U. And look how that turned out. We had maybe a couple, like maybe 1 year of people bringing shit to the Wii U. And that died out really quickly. Man, we had like the Batman Arkham City port. We had Arkham Origins on there. We had Mass Effect 3 and like some minuscule other stuff. And they were mostly just crappy ports with the forced in pad mechanics where you get to like tap the screen and stuff like that. It sucked. It was a sucky console. And maybe third-party people will be more for developing for this thing because it's not something where they have to create extra gimmicks for it. It seems to be just your average home console, but it has its own thing in there. It has its own like little tablet that you take on the go, which could seamlessly transfer between home and portable, possibly. That's another concern that I have, where we don't know how smooth it's going to be. I doubt it's going to be as smooth as they're making it out to be, but we'll see. Let's hope there's a Nintendo Direct for it pretty soon, and we get some more concrete info on it. But right now, I'm into it. I think it looks really cool, and unless something really, really bad happens to where it turns me off of the console completely, then I will be getting one, or at least I'll try to get one come March if I have the money, if I have the time. I should be making time for Horizon Zero Dawn, so I'll have plenty of time, I guess, for Legend of Zelda when that comes out, whenever that comes out, in March or April or whenever. Launch lineup is another concern I have, where a long time ago for the Wii U, I remember they showed a Metro game on there. That never came out for the Wii U. So this whole thing with Skyrim being on there, we don't know if Bethesda's actually making Skyrim for the Switch. It's another concern that I have, because I don't want them to promise these games in the trailer and then not do it, because that's not going to look good on them, and they've already done this before. So anywho, those are my thoughts on the Nintendo Switch. As someone who is very notoriously dismissive and skeptical about modern Nintendo, I gotta say, I came away from this debut of their console quite interested. I'm gonna keep an eye out on this, and I'll most likely get one, like I said, for Breath of the Wild, because it looks amazing. But I will be interested in who else I know buys this thing, so we'll see. Internet infrastructure is another concern I have about this, because Nintendo's internet infrastructure is shit. So yeah, we'll see. Alrighty, thank you guys for watching. If you like to see, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the Nintendo NX. And as always, have a good one, guys. Take care.